She thought I was asleep. That's the part that still kills me. She thought I was asleep, while she whispered to him that she wished she'd never met me. My name's Jason. I'm 35 years old. Born and raised in Nashville, Tennessee, though. These days, I live about 20 minutes outside the city in a quiet 2-bedroom house with creaky floors and one stubborn back porch light that flickers no matter how many times I change the bulb. I work as a paramedic, 12-hour shifts, night runs, early mornings, the whole deal. You don't do this job for the glory. You do it because you want to feel useful. That's always been useful, reliable. The guy you call when you're tired. Flat at 2 a.m., or when your dog runs off, and you need someone with a truck and a flashlight. I don't drink much, don't party. I like slow mornings, bacon and eggs, classic rock on the radio, and the smell of fresh-cut grass. I guess you could say I'm simple. Not boring dash, just ... settle ... And then there was Carly. We met 5 years ago at a mutual friend's wedding. She was the maid of honor. I was just a +1. She wore this dusty blue dress that caught the light like it had something to prove. She had this laugh like a firecracker that echoed through the dance floor. I'd never met someone so alive, so unfiltered. She talked with her hands, made eye contact like a dare, and didn't flinch when I said I hated small talk. She moved in with me 8 months later. At first it was magic. We had this rhythm. Late-night grocery runs for Ben & Jerry's, Sunday morning coffee on the porch. She'd hum while brushing her teeth, always off-key, always charming. Our dog Rustia, Golden Retriever Rescue Bee, came our third wheel. We made Spotify playlists for every season, and a shared notes app for movies we'd watch someday. She painted the guest room yellow. I built her a bookshelf from scratch. It was domestic bliss in its rawest, clumsiest form. But somewhere along the way, things shifted. It started with the phone. It was always face down now, on silent. Not just during dinner or when we were watching a movie, but always. Even when she'd go to the bathroom, she'd bring it with her. No more giggles at TikToks. No more showing me weird memes. Just silence. She also started going out more. Girls' nights, she called them. I didn't mind at first, hell. I encouraged it. Everyone needs space, but they became more frequent, more last minute. And she always came back with that same faint perfume that wasn't hers. Expensive. Sweet. Sharp. I asked once about it. She said it was her friend Alana's new body spray. I let it go. Our conversation started to thin out. She stopped asking about my shifts. Didn't laugh at my dumb jokes anymore. Sometimes, when I'd be talking about something, a rough call, a patient story, even just a funny moment on the road, I'd catch her staring past me, like she wasn't even in the room. I told myself it was stress. Maybe she was just tired. Maybe she was feeling stuck. God knows relationships have their seasons. But then came the night that cracked it open. It was around ... round 2:30 a.m. I had just gotten home from a double shift and collapsed in bed next to her. She was already asleep, or so I thought. About 30 minutes later, I woke up to her voice, soft, careful, barely a whisper, but not to me. "I miss you," she said. "No, he's asleep. He's always tired. I don't even think he notices anymore." My blood ran cold. I didn't move. I didn't breathe. I just lay there in the dark, staring at the ceiling, while the woman I loved whispered someone else's name. I don't know how long I stayed frozen in that bed, listening. Long enough to hear the entire one-sided conversation unfold. Long enough to memorize every word she spoke in that hushed, loving tone, the same tone she used to use with me. She called him baby. Said she hated sneaking around, but couldn't stand to hurt me. Said she wished they could just be together already. At one point, she laughed softly and said, "He still makes me coffee every morning like he has no idea." She was talking about me like I was some clueless stranger, some joke. And maybe in that moment, that's exactly what I was. I didn't confront her that night. I couldn't. I just lay there, pretending to sleep, my heart pounding like a drum inside my chest. I don't think I've ever felt so alert in my life. Wired. Like every nerve ending in my body had been snapped to attention, In the morning, I got up and made coffee, just like always, because I needed time. I needed space to think. To plan, she shuffled out of the bedroom in her robe, hair messy, acting like nothing had happened, kissed me on the cheek, told me she had yoga class, and then brunch with the girls. And I stood there, holding her mug, smiling like a goddamn idiot, wondering how many lies you could fit into a single morning. That day I started paying attention. Her phone. She clutched it like it was a lifeline. I'd catch her tilting the screen away from me if I walked by. Her texts were always deleted, notifications hidden. She switched her lock screen to Face ID. One night I casually asked who she'd been texting so much lately. She blinked, then laughed. Why? You checking up on me now? Don't be so insecure, Jason. God. The word insecure hit like a slap. That became her new go-to move. Make me question myself. Every time I noticed something like the new lingerie I'd never seen her wear, or the sudden interest in night drives, she made me feel like the crazy one. You're imagining things. Why would you even think that? You need to trust me more. And for a while, I tried. I wanted to. Because when you love someone that much, you'd rather believe you're paranoid than accept that the life you've built together is a lie. But the evidence kept stacking up. There was the dinner she canceled last minute because she had a migraine. But when I checked her location out of desperation, yes, I'd started checking. She was at a rooftop bar downtown. There were the photos I accidentally saw in her iCloud backup screenshots of a shirtless guy with a tattoo I didn't recognize, standing in front of her car. There was the way she'd disappear to run errands and come back hours later without a single shopping bag, smelling like hotel soap and someone else's cologne. And then there were the DMIs. I wasn't trying to go through her phone. I swear. I just needed the weather app, and she'd left her iPad open. I was looking at the radar when the message preview popped up in the corner of the screen. Can't stop thinking. About last night, you're amazing. I didn't even flinch. I just sat down, opened the app, and read everything. Dozens of messages. They'd been talking for months, sending photos, planning meets, laughing about me. He wasn't even out of state like I'd feared. He was local. Some guy she'd reconnected with at her high school reunion. His name was Tyler. He was divorced, had a motorcycle, and worked in sales. The worst part? She told him she loved him. Not I'm falling for you. Not I like you. Love you. I can't wait to start our life together. That was the moment something inside me broke, like a bone snapping clean. It didn't even hurt at first. Just this strange, hollow silence, like my brain had finally run out of excuses. And yet even then, I didn't rage. I didn't scream or cry or throw her stuff out the window. I just quietly decided. It was done being the fool in her story. I spent the next 2 weeks pretending I didn't know. Pretending I still loved her like I used to. Pretending everything was fine while documenting every lie. Every message, every little detail she thought she could hide in the shadows. I made backup screenshots, screen recordings, cloud saves. I even synced her old phone to a spare laptop when she left it behind one day. Every I miss you, every picture, every secret was now mine. I didn't do it to be petty. I did it to remind myself I wasn't insane, that I had seen the signs, that I hadn't imagined this. I smiled while I packed her lunch. I laughed when she told me about her girls' night. I even told her I loved her once, just to see if she could say it back without choking on it. She did. And that was the moment. I knew without a doubt she had perfected the art of lying, so I planned the exit. Quietly, surgically. I waited until her birthday. That might sound cruel, but honestly, it was poetic. She always made a big deal out of birthdays, Instagram perfect mornings. Balloons, brunches, surprise gifts. This year, she thought I forgot. She even dropped hints, acted like she didn't care. I saw the way she kept. Checking her phone, waiting for a delivery or some dramatic gesture. Instead, I gave her a moment she'd never forget. I called her family. Her mom, her sister, even her Aunt Carly was close with all of them. I invited them over for a surprise. Birthday brunch! Told them I'd be cooking, and I wanted it to be a big moment. They were thrilled. Said I was the sweetest guy for planning it all behind her back. She came downstairs around 11:30. Still in her robe, hair tousled, she was expecting mimosas and gifts. Instead, she walked into a room full of people and dead silence. Her mom was holding a tablet. On the screen, a full slideshow. Messages, photos, voice notes. Her entire betrayal laid out like a PowerPoint presentation. She froze in the doorway. For a second, I actually thought she might faint. "Happy birthday," I said. "Thought I'd let you reel. Self blow out the candles today." Her sister gasped. Her mom just ... stared. No one moved. No one said a word. Carly's face drained of color. She looked at me, then the screen, then back at me. "What the hell is this?" she finally whispered. "Think you know?" She lunged for the tablet, but her mom pulled it back. "Who is this man, Carly?" her mom asked quietly, and that's when she broke tears. "Deflections. It's not what it looks like. We're just talking. I didn't mean for it to go that far, but it had. We all knew it. I didn't yell. I didn't insult her. I just stood up, looked her dead in the eye, and said, 'You cheated. You lied. You mocked me while I was asleep in our bed.' I turned to the family and added, 'I'm sorry you had to see this, but I figured it was time someone saw her for who she really is.' Then I handed Carly an envelope. Inside, a signed lease termination, my new address, and the vet papers Rusty was coming with me. He deserved peace too. Before I walked out, I gave her one last look. You thought I was asleep, but I heard everything. Every word, every laugh, every lie. I left her standing there in her robe, mascara smudging, surrounded by the very people who used to call us couple goals. That was the last time I saw her in our house. I moved out that night. I didn't wait for her to leave. I didn't ask for closure. I didn't give her one more chance to twist the truth. I packed the essentials clothes, work gear, Rusty's bed and left the rest behind. Let her have the plates and the throw pillows and the perfectly curated cozy corner. She loved to post on Instagram. I moved into a one-bedroom apartment above a hardware store in East Nashville. It smelled like old paint and always ran cold. In the mornings, but it was mine. No lies in the walls. No whispers in the dark. Rusty adjusted faster than I did. I think dogs just know. He stopped scratching at the bedroom door, stopped waiting for her to come home. He slept by my side every night like he'd made his decision to. The first few weeks were quiet, not peaceful, just quiet. That heavy, echoing kind of quiet, where you hear everything. The hum of the fridge, the creak of the floorboards. The absence of her laugh, her toothbrush, her damn essential oil diffuser humming like a lullaby. Then the text started. "Can we talk? I made a mistake. I miss you." I didn't respond. Not when she showed up outside my building. Not when she left a bag of my old hoodies at my door. Not even when she left a note that said, "I don't know who I am without you." Know what that said to me? That this wasn't about love. It was about losing control. She didn't miss me. She missed the comfort. The man who made breakfast and paid the electric bill and fixed the Wi-Fi when it glitched. She missed the life I built and the stability I offered. The same things she took for granted while sneaking around in the shadows. Her family reached out too.
Oh.
Her mom emailed to say how sorry she was. Her sister messaged me to say she never liked that Tyler guy anyway. I didn't blame them. They didn't owe me anything, but I never responded. Because there's a kind of healing that requires silence. I started therapy, something I never thought I'd do. My first session, I barely spoke. Just sat there with my hands clenched, trying to figure out how a woman I loved with my whole soul could betray me so deeply. And so casually, the therapist didn't give me answers. She gave me space. And slowly, I filled it with truth. I wasn't stupid. I wasn't boring. I wasn't too routine or too quiet or too trusting. I was loyal. I was present. I was honest. And those are not flaws. Not to the right person. Months passed. The text stopped. I heard through a mutual friend that Carly and Tyler didn't last. Something about him not wanting to settle down which made me laugh. Because isn't that what she told me she wanted? She tried reaching out one last time around Christmas. Sent a photo of Rusty in a Santa hat with a caption, "Remember this?" I deleted it because yes, I remembered. I remembered everything. And I remembered how it ended. A few weeks ago, I saw Tyler again. At a gas station of all places. He was filling up his truck, and we locked eyes across the pumps. He had that look. The one guys give when they know. They screwed up and don't know whether to apologize or keep walking. He gave me a nod. I didn't nod back. He looked down and got in his truck. That was justice enough. It's been a year now. Funny how time moves. In 2 speeds after betrayal, lightning fast when you're falling apart and unbearably slow when you're trying to rebuild. But somewhere in the middle, I found my footing. I'm not going to pretend I've completely healed. That would be a lie. There are still days I wake up and half expect to smell her shampoo on the pillow beside me. There are still songs I skip on purpose. Still restaurants I avoid. Still dreams that end with her walking away sometimes without saying a word. But I've stopped checking my phone for her name. I've stopped replaying that night in my head. And most importantly, I've stopped blaming myself. Because the truth is, I gave her everything I had. I loved her fully. I trusted her deeply. And if she couldn't see the value in that, if she needed someone else's attention to feel whole, then she was never going to be my forever. Rusty and I, we've got our own rhythm now. Early morning walks through Shelby Park. Coffee. On the fire escape, I've started cooking again, not just frozen pizzas and takeout, but real food. For me, I even started sketching something I hadn't done since college. Turns out, there's beauty in quiet hobbies when no one's lying beside you. And when people ask me now if I'd ever get back out there, I tell them, maybe, someday. But right now, I'm busy learning how to be at peace with myself. Because that's the part no one tells you about healing. It's not about replacing the person who hurt you. It's about becoming someone who doesn't need to be. Rescued anymore? Carly got the house. The curated image. The Instagram account she still pretends is reality. But I got something better. I got my soul back. So if you're listening to this, you're in the thick of it. If you're still lying awake in the dark, wondering how, someone who once held your hand could now hold secrets instead, just know this. You're not crazy, you're not weak, and you're not alone. Turns out the best revenge is waking up one day and realizing you don't miss her at all. If you've enjoyed my story, don't forget to like and subscribe for more real-life stories like this.